Hello friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to make a plaid tumbler inspired by a manicure that I saw on Pinterest. I had a ton of fun putting this design together and I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll have a full supply list down below in the description box for you. And as always, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Okay, that's it. I hope you like it. Let's go. For this tutorial, we're going to use a 30-ounce skinny straight sublimation gloss tumbler. So I sanded it down super duper lightly, and now we can just go right in and start working on it. So what I'm going to do first is split my cup in half vertically, and I'm going to measure around the top rim of my cup so that I can just measure the two halfway points and then use those as my guidelines to place my tape. There are a ton of different ways that you can use when you are dividing your cup in half. This has been my favorite way recently, but do whatever works for you. Just try your best to get two even halves. So once I've got those two marks on my tumbler, so this is 10 inches around, so I made a mark at the 10-inch mark and then another one at the 5 because that's halfway. So now I'm going to take my painter's tape and I'm going to line up the lines of my painter's tape or the edges of my painter's tape with those two little notches that I made on each half of the tumbler, and I'm just going to bring those pieces around as you can see here, and then we should have two perfectly split halves of our tumbler. For now, we're going to leave this taped off half white, and we're just going to work on the plaid half. So to do that, I'm going to mix some paints up. I've got these pop of color paints, and I'm taking two colors. So I'm taking Ecru and Creme Brûlée, and I'm going to mix those two together to create kind of like a creamy beige tone. You can use whatever color you want. I just wanted to match a little bit of the nail inspiration that I am using for this whole tumbler design. So I tried to make a color that would be similar to that base color in the nail art or the manicure. So I'm going to take my fluffy brush here. I'll have these brushes linked down below in the description box, along with everything else I'm using in this video. But I'm just going to, as you can see here, paint my tumbler. I did 2 coats of the paint, so in between each coat I waited probably about 20 minutes. I wanted really good opaque coverage because we are not doing any glitter on this tumbler. I know it's insane, but I wanted to make sure that that coverage was really good because we're not going to be covering it up with glitter. So once that was totally dry, I went in with a thin coat of epoxy. I'm using the Flynn Sisters fast setting epoxy for this, and this coat was about maybe 20 to 25 milliliters. I let that spin for about 6 hours, and now I'm ready to add my plaid template with my vinyl. So I did sand down my tumbler just a little bit, and I'm going to start with my first black stripe here. Now I'll have this entire file pack for you listed on my website. It comes with the plaid template I designed, the decal we're going to put on the other side, and all of the striping that you'll need to achieve this tumbler design. So that will be linked if you want to use the same one I am. So basically this template comes ready to cut. It's already sized for this 30-ounce skinny, but you can also resize it. You just change the dimensions to fit whatever tumbler you're using. So I cut it out of just regular plain black vinyl, and I'm going to take my transfer tape and we're going to use that first line that we placed down on our tumbler as a guide to help us place this plaid in the right way. Now I don't want to cut this again, so I'm going to take a lot of time here and make sure that this is lined up. The goal is to get the entire beige half of our cup covered, and it's totally okay if your plaid at this point goes over into your white section. We're going to trim everything up really nicely and it's going to just look really clean, so don't worry about that right now. The goal is to just line up your far out stripe with the stripe that we just laid down. So you're going to overlap those, but that's going to help you make sure that everything is lined up the right way. So we laid that first stripe down on our tumbler, and then we're using that stripe that we laid down as a guide to place the rest of the plaid. So we're going to overlap the outer stripe with the stripe we laid down, and then I'm going to take another stripe and I'm going to lay it over that same stripe on the other side, if that makes sense. So you'll have 2 stripes that don't meet the edge of your tumbler, and then you'll have 2 that go all the way around. So once you've got that done, you can take 2 more of those stripes. So you're going to cut 4 of them in total, and you can just layer them right over so that those outer stripes of your plaid cover the entire height of your tumbler. Hopefully that makes sense. And once you've got that done, you can cut off all of these little excess pieces from the outside of your plaid. And then we can move on to the rose gold detailing. So this is the rose gold texture metallic vinyl from TECKWRAP. And I cut 2 of these stripes. We're gonna put one vertically down the tumbler right through the middle of our plaid, and then we'll put another one horizontally right through the middle of the plaid, and they're just going to cross over, obviously in the middle, and make this look just a little bit more plaid-y. Now, if you want to add more striping, if you want to go more intense with your plaid, you absolutely can. I just really tried to, again, emulate the plaid that was in the Manicure that I used for the inspiration on this tumbler. So there's what that looks like. I am going to seal this with a coat of epoxy to make sure that we can tape over it and do all of our next steps without messing up that plaid vinyl. So for this side of the tumbler, I'm going to take some more blue painter's tape and I'm going to cover up those black seams that we have. And then I'm also going to cut off from the bottom just a little bit, because what I want to do is tape off the bottom edge of the tumbler with my electrical tape, as you can see here on the plaid side, but I want the paint that we're going to use on the bottom half of the tumbler on the white side, I want that paint to go all the way down to the bottom and cover the bottom and just make everything look really seamless. So I'm going to just tape off the bottom half of the plaid side. Then I'm going to take another piece of painter's tape and I'm going to divide my cup basically in half vertically, and that bottom half we are going to paint brown. So I initially used raw sienna, which is a Delta Creative Ceram Coat color, and it just wasn't dark enough for me, so I went and grabbed my Arteza acrylic paints and I ended up using raw umber, which is a really deep, rich chocolate brown, and it definitely fit the aesthetic of what I was looking for much more. So I just put that right over. You can see it's that pretty brown. Then I removed my tape, let my paint dry, and added another coat of epoxy over that so that we have a smooth, shiny surface to do the rest of our vinyl work. So before I add my decal on this white part of our tumbler, I'm going to go in with 2 more rose gold stripes. I'm going to put those just on the outside of our black stripes to just finish everything off, make everything look really clean and crisp and polished. And once that's done, we're going to add another stripe of the rose gold to the middle to stripe out the half and half split. So now we're ready to do our decal work, or I guess our main decal. All of this has been decal work. So I'm going to take this super cute stack of pumpkins. This is a sticker cal from BAMF Custom Creations. It comes in a sheet of a bunch of these cute little decals. So I'll have that link down below with a discount for you, of course. And I'm just going to place this right in the middle of that white section on the top of our tumbler. And I am leaving a little bit of room down below because I thought it would be cute to add a little like quote decal or just a little saying to kind of tie everything together. So I cut out this really simple "Stay Cozy." This is also included in the file pack if you want to use the same one, or you can use it for something else if you want. So I cut that out of just regular brown Oracal 651 vinyl, and I'm going to reverse weed it. So I cut it out, put my transfer tape on the entire decal, and now that my vinyl is stuck to my transfer tape, I can go in and be a little bit more confident in weeding the decal, and I'm not going to lose anything with these, with the super thinly cut decal. Reverse weeding makes it so much easier to keep everything intact and not ruin it. So once I've done that, I'm going to, as you can see, just place it right beneath those pumpkins. And I feel like it just kind of ties everything together. Once I had that on, I added my final coat of epoxy, or what could possibly be my final coat. I haven't decided if I want to do one more coat with just a little bit of glitter mixed in. It's really hard for me to do a cup that doesn't have any glitter on it. So still decided. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments if you think I should add some glitter or some sort of sparkly element to this tumbler. It's definitely still a work in progress, but that's it for this tutorial. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. As always, if you did, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button down below. Make sure you're subscribed to my channel so you don't miss any of my new videos. And thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, love you. Bye.